Eva mai, como é que paki mo Michele, ele já leva.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay. Morena koto katoa. Ko Michele toko ingoa. Kia ora, Christine, for introducing the Hairaranga, kupu. I think it described really well my role in this space. I am a collaborations broker in the Kai space across West Auckland. I also want to acknowledge that every time I come to this space here physically, it makes me feel like home because in 2016, that's where I started my journey in the Kai space as a systems innovator. It was actually inside the rugby clubs there. And so it's always glad to be here and see how it's changing and it's becoming better and better. This makes that you guys are, turning into a homely, beautiful, growing space for communities. So Kai West, I was asked to tell you a little bit more about how we started and what we do and all of that. So basically, we started this collective in 2017, towards the end of 2017, and out of the need of people and organizations coming together in West Auckland to talk about collaboration. We were all working with the same communities across West Auckland, talking about the well-being and not necessarily collaborating as organizations. So one of the things that we put forward was collaborating around Kai for our final. And so Kai West was born then. And from there, Kai West has come together to storm, form, break apart, come back together. So it's been such a journey. And so as part of that collective, we've got a steering committee of organizations that some of them are here today. Community Waitakere, Eco-Matters, Fair Foods, Glenavan Community Hub, Health for Families Waitakere, Nemoana West, MTHS Community Trust, Vision West, in representation for the Waste Solutions team, as well as the local boards, with the Waitakere branches local boards as our advisory members. We have West and West Auckland's Māori Thought Leaders Collective. So this is kind of a steering committee that comes together to steer what and where and how our work is going to be going forward from a strategic perspective. And all of these collectors have their own set of skills. They represent all different parts of the Kai system. So we have organizations like Eco-Matters that are representing the tile and the environment well-being. We've got Fair Foods that's rescuing Kai and distributing to families up to food banks who are giving them away to families. We've got community hubs and centers like Glenavan Community Hub that are our grassroots partners testing the different approaches around Kai. And also we've got our Pacifica and Maori representative who are cultural advisors, let's put it this way, to make sure we are doing things together. And our connections to the different parts in the West Auckland region as well. So we all work in these different communities. So when we come together, we are representing the many parts and the many people. And I just want to acknowledge that here today, I'm really standing on the shoulders of giants. I am not an expert. I'm just the one that's bringing everyone together for the Sky conversations. That's our purpose. With our collective strength, we will improve food resilience for West Auckland by creating the conditions for locally led initiatives to thrive. And they come together under this shared vision for a nourished West Auckland where people have access to healthy, affordable, and culturally appropriate food from a system that's localized and regenerative. And then we have values and our guiding home around collaboration, advocacy, capacity building, and equity. So our ways of working, we have so many different ways, but we are guided by Te Tiriti o Waitangi and Mana Mutuhaki o Te Kai principles. And we focus on systems change, and collective impact is the model that we are using, where we've got this container where we come together to guide where things might happen, but we have lots of different working groups that are actually doing the actions and making things happen. Our keyword streams are around changing the narratives of crime for West Auckland, from bad news, Lincoln Road, heart attack alley, into bringing that mindset of abundance where it used to be one day. And we know that this is just a photo of what Lincoln Road used to be a few years back. They were all orchards and a lot of abundance, a lot of knowledge in growing kai, and also going even further past understanding what was our whenua use before the settlers came in. How can we acknowledge going back all the way to what it used to be, and bringing some of those elements and the stories to life? Because we are seeing in West Auckland and many other places of Auckland developments taking place. We are losing our, productive soils, and it's more people coming, more food is needed, and we are not having the spaces to grow. So the time is now, and we need to start really capturing those stories before they start disappearing even further. It's about showcasing what's working really well and celebrating our stories as well. So we feel like we've got an important role from connecting with our communities and helping and capturing all these amazing stories and making sure they are celebrated and going everywhere. And our voices and our stories are heard. And also sharing about our learnings as well of the journey. The other key work stream is around advocacy for quiet sovereignty. And we do that in many different ways. Firstly, bringing the people together to hear what really matters for them and what are the things that we should be taking with us when we go have opportunities to engage with decision makers, with our friends in council as well. How do we find out about what's already happening before it becomes an opportunity and it's gone somewhere else? So we try to be there first and foremost to make sure that's coming to West Auckland as well. And it's a lot about working with our local boards as well and ensuring that there is a shared sort of set of actions with commitment towards sky sovereignty and resilience as well. So how do we support that to be happening, bringing that knowledge that we can get through our networks and connections, so the local boards are aware of what's happening at the grassroots level. And then in some ways, we are also advocating and highlighting, shining the lights where the resources actually need to be allocated from a country perspective and local boards. So it's quite intense. It's lots of meetings, lots of hui, and no dewey. But then when it's the dewey time, it's quite intense as well. And we do manage to bring in some of those resources, which is quite exciting. And yes, we are jumping into a lot of those opportunities as much as we can. It's advocacy. It's something that's really important that everyone's part of. So we, as much as we can, engage in conversations and put collective submissions for the things that are available. And often we just find out about them like a week before it's due. But we are proud to say that we try our best to put some submissions, send feedback on local board plans or open councils and the bills that are changing the things that really affect our community health and well-being from a Kai perspective. And so networks of action, which is really about strengthening our communities who are already working in the Kai space and the different whopapa. So we do have the West Auckland Food Relief Network that's coming together since during lockdowns very much. So it's a mature network that's doing really well. And they are looking at how they can move away from business as usual by coming together into these spaces to talk about what's potential for them. How can they be wrapping around communities in a different way? To support it, to show that different ways they can participate in the system. Kai resilience network neighborhoods is a very new one that's still Lynette and I are working on forming. And that stays on the back of high conversations that we had in different locations across West Auckland. And that's working with those emerging leaders from this corridor to provide the space where they can come together, share their learnings, and hear from one another and support one another in that space. And Tipu Te Uru Bro West, which is the network I was going to shine the light on today. So that's all about soil health, growing high in communities. So we had started this network based on the back of a baseline survey that we've done last year to understand what would make people want to be part of a network in the first place. What sort of things would interest them in terms of what they want to learn, what do they want to have access, or what would they, summing up to a network. We had our first meeting in February 2025, and from there we brainstorm what a potential name, purpose, and goals could be. We had a very thought-provoking meeting in February where some people were very strong about a name that was rooted out west, and that lots didn't want to go with that, of course. But we still managed to go around and keep the words grounded or rooted in that space. And that's where we got started, really. So people came back together again in May, and then finalized a name, Tipu Te Uru, which is basically a translation of Bro West. And we are now bringing opportunities for learning at every network meeting. We meet every 3 months, and we try to do a little bit of a mini version of this regional voice where you go to the different gardens, we learn from that space what's working well, and it's a lot of whakawhanonga and connection that happens in there as a sharing of kōrero. So we've got from our friend Savannah from Kairaku, she shared her learnings, and we also now had the last meeting a few weeks ago at Te Rangihiroa Reserve, which is a place where there is a new Marakai and food forest in a dreaming stage, I think it's at Centanui. So we've heard from Dan Carey about syntropic food forests there. And at that way, we sort of fleshed out our purpose a little further, as well as what are the values of this network. So that's a draft purpose that I just wanted to share. So the network would forward growing food and nurturing whenua together through shared dreams and actions. And some of the outcomes that I've been seeing through this network is around whanaungatanga. We see the people connecting, learning about each other's kaupapa, and taking it away from the network. So they are like joining the different working peers, helping each other to further grow their mara, do their flight things. Further opportunities that are coming, which Richard's going to talk about, is expanding their capacity to grow as well and able to grow soil health. Collaboration, which is a very strong thing of this network. The resource sharing, as I mentioned, or we've done a bit of a mapping of who's got what in terms of knowledge, resources they can share, and that's an early stage on how people are actually tapping into it. I still need to figure out whether that's happening, and I will invite someone to talk a little bit more about it. And I feel like there is a shared purpose in a sense of direction. We are all in this worker together, and it feels very strong with this network. We always feel energized when we come out of these meetings. And we also have an evolving plan, which it's giving us some of that direction, and some of the things that's being shared through the network is that they really want to have a shared impact assessment too, whether that's sharing, soil health and the social aspects of growing space as well as climate change, the impacts to climate change. So that's something that would be good to have as a shared through across the different members. I forgot to mention we have around 40 people that's on our base of this network, and probably a steady 25 to 30 people that keep on coming back to the meetings. And I think that's very much it about this network. It's a new network. It's full of energy networks. And I wonder if anyone that's part of this network would like to share anything from their perspective. So where are we going?
Tēnā koutou. Mihi tātake a koe. I whai wā ki tēnei wāhi, te kōrero. It's an amazing network where we get opportunity to catch up with other whānau that are doing the same stuff that we're doing, but obviously they have learnings along the way that we're like just coming out here today and we're looking at these recycling bins. Okay, I can tell we can use those. Yes, where can I get some of those? And they go, well, if you go and see Joe over here, then Joe will be able to put you in the right place. So all of those opportunities that you get to come together and meet and go, oh yeah, we've got a bounty of these things over here. Well, we can share them with you over there. So every opportunity that we do get like this, obviously it was a long time. A lot of discussion happened in these meetings, personally, about who we were and what we're going to be called, because obviously with a name, there's a lot of mana behind the name. Parents take a long time sitting there thinking about the name, naming their children. Well, there's a lot of conversations that went on that, and now that we've got the right name, I feel like we've got some action happening now, and every time that we come together there's great energy for us to figure out what it is that we can each bring to the table. It's great having heaps of pie bakers, but sometimes we don't have pies. Sometimes we want to have a boiler. So, bringing all those people together with their different skills so that we can grow more kai in West Auckland. And, through the meetings that Kai West helped us to organise in those 8 different locations, that was really cool to go, how can we organise community groups to be growing in the reserves that are around the place? Okay, if we all know the plan, it is step-by-step plan that you need to do to be able to grow in reserves. Okay, who are the people in that area? There's no use getting a fella that's 10 k's down the road to look after a whenua that's just around the corner from this lot. Okay, so that's what we can do firstly. So having these opportunities through Kai West, but then making up these other groups that get their specific purposes is really helpful. So anyone that does live out west, or if you have some roots that go out this way, rooted out west, that was our day. There was a few people who were like, well, that's got too many double meanings there, but so we stay away from that one. But if you have any connections out west and they're not here or they don't know about that, whakamohia tukia atu, let them know about it so that we can get more people along, because the more people that are growing, the better we're all going to be, because then we're not going to get stuck in the ruts of being, well, our roads are closed, what are we going to do? Well, we've got heaps of kai growing down the road, so no problems for us. So, good enough.